Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amulya's Academy. Today in this tutorial we'll discuss about a pattern program, that is we are printing Pascal's triangle. In Pascal's triangle, each number is the sum of the two numbers directly above it. It is named after the French mathematician called as Blaise Pascal. So first let us see how this Pascal's triangle looks. So here we have Pascal's triangle. At the beginning and at the end of the pattern, here we can see 1. We want to print 1. That is, in each row, at the first column and at the last column, we want to print 1. And the first row will contain the value 1. It contains only one value. That value is 1. And the in-between values will be the sum of the two numbers directly above it. So here 2 is nothing but sum of 1 and 1. The two numbers which are directly present above it, that is 1 and 1. So here 3 is nothing but the sum of 1 and 2. Here 3 is nothing but 2 plus 1. 4 is nothing but 3 plus 1. 6 is nothing but 3 plus 3. 4 is nothing but 3 plus 1. Like that. So the in-between numbers are nothing but the sum of two numbers directly above it. So in the Pascal triangle, the first value of the row 1 will be 1. It contains only one value. That value will be 1. And at the each row, in the beginning column and at the end column, will have value 1. And the in-between values are nothing but the sum of the two values above it. Okay, so this is about the Pascal triangle. Next, when I give input as 4, so we need to get output like this, 4 rows. When I give input as 5, we need to get output like this. When we take n as 6, we need to get output like this. So this is about the input and output of the program. So next we'll see how to write the program. So to write the program, we'll follow 3 steps. That is, we'll divide our program into 3 parts. So the 3 parts of the program is nothing but first step is we'll take the input from the user. So we'll take number of rows from the user. And the second step is first we'll consider which value we want to print in the pattern. That is how to get those values in the pattern. So first we'll take a list. That is, we'll take a nested list and we'll store the numbers of the pattern in that. At first, instead of trying to print this number in this shape, we will see how to get this number. So for that we'll take a list. For example, I'll take list name as list 1. This will be a nested list and each row will be the inner list of this nested list. That is, we'll take values like this, 1. This is the row 1, right? First row. Next, I'll take 1 and 1. This as the second value of this list 1. Next, I'll take comma 1, 2, 1. Next, we'll take 1, 3, 3, 1 in the list. First, we'll see how to get these numbers. Later, we can print these numbers in whichever shape you want. So the second step is get the numbers of the Pascal triangle. And the last step is we'll print that number in the required shape. So we need to follow these 3 steps in our program. So first we'll follow the first step, that is we'll take the input from the user. So in the Python file, to get the input from the user, I'll use input function, and to store the user entered input, I'll take a variable. So I'll take variable name as n. So I'll print a message in the output screen, that is enter the row number. So we are using input function to take the input from the user. Here I'm using Python 3, and in Python 3 by default this input function will take input as string value, but here we want integer value because number of row is an integer value. So we need to convert this string input to integer. For that I'll use int function. Now user entered integer input will be stored in the variable n. So step 1 is completed. Now we are done with the input. Next we need to follow the second step. Second step is we need to get the numbers of the Pascal triangle. To get the numbers of the Pascal triangle, I'll use nested list. If we want to print numbers in the different row and column, to create that matrix or array, we can use nested list, right? When we use nested list, this is nothing but row and the value present in this nothing but column value. like this, right? So now if I want to write it, this is something like this, 1 1 1 1. If I change the value 1 2 3 4, this is like 1 2 3 4. So now we need to store this value, that is 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 3 3 3 1 in the nested list. So for that, first I'll take a list. So here I'll take a list called list1 and I'll take empty list. Initially it is an empty list. Now we need to go through each row and we need to store these values in each row to the list. So these are the inner list. This is list 1 of 0. This will be the list 1 of 1. This will be the list 1 of 2. This will be the inner list. And the value present in this is nothing but, if 1 is nothing but, to access this we'll need to write list 1 of 0 0. The first value present in list 1 of 0. To access this I need to write list 1 of, so this is nothing but list 1 of 1, so 1. So this is the first element in that, so I'll need to use list 1 of 0, like that. So we need to go through each row. So for that I need to take a for loop for row. So I'll take for I in range. So how many rows I want, how many inner list we want in the list 1. Here we can see when n is 5 we'll get output like this. So in this we can see 5 rows. So that is nothing but, we need to execute this for loop 5 times. 5 is nothing but the n value, number of row value. So that is nothing but n value. So I'll take range as 0 to n. This is the range for row. Next here, as I said, this will be the inner list of the list 1, right? Each row will be the inner list of list 1. To take the inner list, I'll create another list here. So I'll take it as temporary list. You can give any name. It is also a list. We need to add this value to the temporary list now. So now this will be the name of inner list, temporary list. Okay. So now I need to add this value 1 1 1 or 1 1 to the temporary list, right? This list in the 0th iteration or first iteration. We'll get this in the iteration 1. We'll get this in the second iteration. We'll get this in the third iteration. Okay. When I is 0, I is 1, I is 2, I is 3. And to add this value, we need another for loop, that is the for loop for column. So now how many columns I want? So here we can see when I is 0, we'll get this. When I is 1, we'll get this. When I is 2, we'll get this. When I is 3, we'll get this. So when I is 0, we want 1 value in the temporary list. When I is 1, we want 2 value. When I is 2, we want 3 value. When I is 3, we want 4 value. Here also we can see when row is 0, we want 1 value. When row is 1, we want 2 value. When row is 3, we want 3 value. When row is 4, we want 4 value. So that is nothing but I plus 1 value, right? So here row is nothing but I. So here we want I plus 1 value. So I'll take range as 0 to I plus 1. So now what I need to do? I need to insert this value to the temporary list. Let's see what and all values we want in the Pascal triangle. First at row 0, we want 1. Next here we can see at the beginning of each column. So in every row, at the beginning of each column and at the end of the column, we want value as 1. So for this, I'll take if j is equal to 0, that is in the first column of each row, or in the last column, j is equal to I. Here we took range as I plus 1, so that is nothing but last column will be I. Here we can see we'll get this when I equal to 1. So here this will be the first value, this will be the second value. Don't think about the space now, for now. So this will be the 0th value, this will be the first value. J is equal to 0, j equal to 1. When j is equal to 0, we want to print 1, or when j is equal to 1, 1 is nothing but I value. Here if I take this will get when I is equal to 3. This is 2, this is 0. We want to print 1 here or 1 here. This is nothing but 0th index, will be one index, second index and third index. So when j is equal to 3 or when j is equal to 0, we want to print 1 here. So what is 3 here? 3 is nothing but I value. So that's why here I took when j is equal to 0 or when j is equal to I, we want to print 1. So I'll take temporary list dot append 1. We are entering the value to the list, that's why I'll use the append function. Now what will happen is when j is equal to 0 or at the last column, it will append 1 to the list. Else, so this else part is for the in-between values. We are done with the beginning and ending value. We want to append 1. We want to place 1 in that place. For the in-between values, what we need to do? For the in-between values, now to print this in-between values, it is nothing but sum of this above two numbers, right? So what is 1 and 1? So it is nothing but we need to add the value present in the previous row. Here also, to get 3, we need to add two numbers which is present in the previous row, right? So that is nothing but we need to add two values and both values should be present in the previous row. So previous row is nothing but I minus 1. So here I is nothing but row. So previous row is nothing but I minus 1. So now we need to mention the j index of those two numbers. So here we can see we want to add 1 and 2 to get 3. So as we know, these two values are present in the previous row, that is nothing but I minus 1 row. Now what is the index of j? So here we can see this is the first value in the row. This will be the second value in the row. Okay, so that is nothing but the index of 1 is nothing but 0. Index of 2 is nothing but 1. So this is the first value. This is the second value in the row. Let's check the index of 3. 3 is nothing but the second value of this row, right? This will be the first value. So this will be the second value. So that is nothing but 3 is nothing but the second value. That is nothing but index 1. Because index will begin with 0. So this index is 0. So that is nothing but this index will be 1. So the index of 3 is 1. So 1 is present at column 0. 2 is present at column 1 and 3 is present at column 1 in different row. So that is nothing but if the column of 3 is nothing but j, row is I, column is j here. So here if 1 is nothing but j, so 0 is nothing but j minus 1 and for 1 we can write it as j. So to write the index here, I can write one index as j, another index as j minus 1. We are adding these values, so if you change the order, it's okay. So I will give you another example. So here we'll see how to get 6. To get 6, we need to add 3 and 3. Okay, so 3 and 3. What is 3 and 3? These two values are present in the previous row. Okay, so that is nothing but I minus 1 row. The I index will be I minus 1. Next, what is the column value? So the index of 3 is nothing but 1. So the first index will be 0. It is the second element in the row. So its index will be 1. So then this is the third value present in that row. So that is nothing but index is 2. So now we'll see the index of 6. The column number of 6. It is the third number in the row. So that is nothing but its index is 2. So 2 is nothing but here j value. So here 2 is nothing but j value. This is nothing but j minus 1 value. So we need to write like this. It is the row and column of those two values. By adding those values, we'll get the in-between values. So here I'll write temp list. I'll append this here. So I'll add list 1 of I minus 1. The second index is j minus 1 plus list 1 of I minus 1 j. To get the in-between values, we need to add the two values which are present above it, right? So now we are done. After completing one row, the values will be added to the temporary list. Now the values are present in the temporary list. For example, for the row 1, 1, 1 are present in the temporary list now. So now we need to append this temporary list to list 1. So here in the outside the for loop for column, I'll take list 1 dot append temporary list. So now we are done with the second step, that is we successfully stored values of Pascal triangle in the list 1. Now if I print this, here we can see 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. So we got the values now. Now we have our values in the nested list. Now we need to print this in the required shape, that is this step 3. To print these numbers in the required shape, because the values are present in the nested list, so we need to use nested for loop. So first for loop is for row. So number of row is n. Let's see the shape of this Pascal triangle now. Now first here we want to print space, and next we need to print the numbers. So to print this space, I'll use the formula as n minus I minus 1. Usually we'll use this formula when we want to print numbers or star in this shape. When we want to print first space followed by the number, to print the space we'll use this formula. So here we can see we want 4 space. So when n is 5, first here we want 4 space, here we want 3 space, here 2 space, here 1 space, here 0 space. So when I take n minus I minus 1, this will work for this. When n value is 5, row value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the I value. So 0 minus 1, we'll get 4 space here. When n is 5, I is 1 minus 1, we'll get 3 space. When I is 2, we'll get 2 space. When I is 3, we'll get 1 space. When I is 4, n is 5. 5 minus 4 minus 1, so we'll get 0 space. Okay. And to print this space, we need to use a for loop. So here I'll take n minus I minus 1. This is to print the space. I'll print space and I'll take end as empty string to keep the control in the same line. It is same as printing stars in the triangle shape. Here now, how many numbers you want in each row? We want I plus 1 number. Because here we can see at row 0, we want 1 number. At row 1, we want 2 number. At row 2, we need 3 number. So how many numbers we want in each row? We want I plus 1 number. So I'll take I plus 1. Now we need to print the number. Where these numbers are present? These numbers are present in the list 1, right? So I'll take list 1, I, that is the row value, j. And here I'll take end is equal to space. That is because here after printing one value, there is a space between these two numbers, right? We want to print space between the values. That's why here I took a space. So next I'll use print function, that is for the new line. After each row we need to go to the new line. That's why I use this print function. This is the basic structure of any pattern program, right? If I want to print star in this shape, we use same code. Instead of printing this value, we'll print star. So now if I execute this, so I'll enter number of row as 4. So here we can see 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. So we are getting this nested list, but here we don't want that. So I'll remove this, right? So now if I execute this, so I can enter number of row as 5, and here we can see the Pascal triangle. So now if I enter row number as 6, so we'll get the triangle, but because this Pascal triangle contains 10 contain 2 digits, that is 1 and 0. That's why we are not getting proper shape. So you can format the output here. You can use the format function and you can do that. Format, you can mention how many space you want. So here I'll take 2 space for this, for space, and here I'll take, so now the question is, so why I used 3 here and why I used 2 here? I'll explain you. Before that I'll show you the output. Now if I enter 6, and here we can see it will print the pattern properly, can get the proper shape. Now the question is, why here 2, why here 3? So here it is not 3 place, here there is another space included, end is equal to space. So total 4 place for the value, total 2 place for the space. We'll take a for loop to print this space, and we'll take another for loop to print this number, right? When we take for loop to print space, in a single iteration we'll print single space. But in the for loop to print number, in the single iteration we'll print 2 places, right? We'll print 1 and followed by a space. For 1 place in the space, we need 2 place for the value. So that's why when I take 2 place for this space, or to place this space, we need to take 4 place for this value. So in this for loop, in the single iteration, we'll print a space, single space. But in this for loop, after printing value, we'll print a space. So that is nothing but, in the single iteration here, we'll print 1 space here, but here we want 2 place. So that's why here I'll take 4 space for this, and here I took 2 space. If you want, you can remove this, end is equal to this space, and here include that. It will work in the same way. Okay, so this is about this program. First, we'll take the input from the user. Next, we'll store the values of the Pascal triangle in the list. And to print the values present in that nested list in the required shape, we are using this part. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you next class. Till then, take care.